Fine. Now see. In last few classes, we have covered IP. Fine. And on the concept of IP address, we have discussed about uh, DHCP. Now, DHCP is a protocol that is used to provide IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server, DHCP server address, and leaf style to different nodes automatically and dynamically. There is a small lab which will show you how DHCP works and gives an IP address to different nodes. Fine. And I will perform this lab with the help of Cisco Packet Tracer tool. You have already used it. Okay. Now just see. Suppose I'm just going to test. This is a router. Fine. And I'm going to connect two machines with it. And these machines will be, for example, laptop 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. Now, in case of Cisco Packet Tracer, yeah, what you all are doing, don't do it. Don't do it. Do it after my configuration. Stop it. Fine. I'm just going to attach it. Fine. It's okay. Then power. Simple. Not so. There is one connectivity. Now this machine has got an IP address. One desktop, IP configuration, DHCP. Okay, fine. Just yes. Right now it has got an IP address, and its IP address is 192.168.0.100. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And default gateway is 192.168.0.1. How did this PC get an IP address? This PC got an IP address from wireless router. As you mostly see, whenever you are trying to connect with a wireless network, in that case, there is a connectivity, and behind this connectivity, there you have an IP address. With the help of that IP address, you can communicate with the router and communicate on WAN also, means public network, means you can access internet. Now, see, where is DSC? I'm just going to open this route. Okay, fine. Don't worry. I'm going to open this router with browser. Browser, and in this browser, HTTP colon, there is no internet connectivity, but we can access the wireless router through the laptop. Why? Because there is a connection between wireless router and laptop, and we have seen that the default gateway IP address is 192.168.0.1. This address actually belongs to router. It is router's. Now, with the help of that IP, we can open router's configuration through the browser. That's why I am typing http colon / 192.168.0.1. Fine. Then. Now it is asking for a username and password. The default username is admin and password is also admin. Fine. Now, this is the internal configuration part of your router. And in this configuration part, I see network setup. DHCP server setting enabled. And in this server setting, there is an IP address, start IP address 192.168.0.100. And from this IP address, this router will distribute maximum 50 IP addresses. Means first IP will be 192.168.0.100, second will be 101, third 102, fourth 103, and so on. Maximum 50 users can get IP address. So from 100 to 149 is the range of IP address which will be distributed to different connecting nodes. Fine. Now, this is the function of the DHCP, but for this function, there is a need of configuration. And in this case, in wireless router case, there is a default DHCP and default configuration. We can change it. If we will change it in that case, as per the change, laptop will get an IP address. I'm just going to check. I'm going to mark it as 2. Fine. A user will be only 20. Fine. Now, our DHCP will start the distribution from 192.168.0.2, and it can provide only 20 IP addresses. Fine. Now, save the setting. Save setting. Now request timeout. Why there is a request timeout? Because this laptop has got IP address, got an IP address 192.168.0.100. But now this is not in DHCP range. That's why there is no connectivity with router. Fine. I'm just going to close this. Again, I will try to get new IP address. So just I'm going to click on the static. Fine. Now there is no IP. Static means that there is a need of manual control. But I have to get an IP address from DHCP. That's why I'm again going to click on DHCP. Now this laptop is requesting. Finally, it has got an IP address 192.168.0.2. This output shows that yes, there is a DHCP which provides IP address, because we have just make a change with DHCP setting, and as per the setting, now laptop is getting an IP address. The function of DHCP is clear now. Is there any doubt? Function clear हो गया DHCP का. DHCP ऑटोमेटिक IP प्रोवाइड कर रहा है. सेटिंग में हमने चेंज किया. सेटिंग के अकॉर्डिंग जो है वो मशीन को फिर नई IP मिली. Yes, because laptop has to make new request. That's fine. Okay. Now, at this laptop, again, I'm going to power off this laptop, removing this wired NIC, and I'm inserting wireless. And there is power on. See. Desktop IP configuration. Till now, it has not got an IP address. And one more thing. One more thing. One 169.254.219.10. Right now, this laptop has this IP. And this IP is known as ये कौन सा IP है? ये मैंने IP में पढ़ाया है. Yes, it belongs to class B. Yes, it belongs to class B. No, this is not private IP. This is reserved IP, and it is known as APIPA, Automatic Private IP Address. Right? Why this laptop has APIPA address? Now, fine. It, it has new IP address. Actually, APIPA address was showing on the screen because first time laptop has requested to the wireless router, and actually it was requesting to DHCP, but DHCP has not provided IP address. That's why it has laptop has automatically registered an IP address that is 169.254.x.y. Remember, x.y. This is a APIPA. Whenever any node is trying to get an IP address and unfortunately that node is not able to get an IP address from DHCP, in that case, that node will automatically assign an IP address, and that IP address will belong to this network 169.254. Fine. If You are also getting this type of IP address. It means there is no connectivity with the DHCP or your router. Clear? ये अपीपा एड्रेस. अभी फिर से उसने रिक्वेस्ट डाला. Finally, this laptop has got a new IP address, and that this IP belongs to the actual range. Now the IP is 192.168.0.3, and in configuration, we have given range 192.168.0.2. This is the start IP, and maximum user is 20. So now our DHCP can provide maximum 20 IP addresses. Right? That's why, first of all, I have taught you IP address. Now, this is the first lab, and first lab with one protocol, and this protocol is here. Fine. Now, any question? Any doubt? Sorry? No. 192.168.0.0 cannot be a default ticket. Where have you seen? किस क्लास में? Anybody has seen 192.168.0.0? First was 2, second is 3. If I will try to get one more IP address at third laptop, in that case it will be 4, then 5, then 6. I think you are talking about default root. 0.0.0.0, 4 times 0. That is different. That is not a default route, default gateway address. That is a default root. Actually, this root is defined at a router for communication of internal node with any network that is available in the world or in the ICE. That is the concept of default route. That is a concept of routing. I'm talking about DHCP. Okay. Yes. DNS server is 0.0.0 because there is no configuration related to DNS in DHCP. It depends upon the ISP service, or you can use 8.8.8.8. This is a universal DNS server. Fine. Or 8.8.4.4. These two IP addresses can be used if you have no knowledge about actual DNS server. Okay. In case of internet service, mostly you will see that the default gateway IP and DNS server IP both are same. Both are same. Because with the help of this IP, you can also communicate. But in case of troubleshooting, we apply 8.8.8.8 or 8.8.4.4. Suppose your ISP has already given you DNS server IP. In that case, you should use that IP address only. It all depends on the configuration of ISP, which type of service ISP is providing. Okay? Yes. Actually, there is no setting. There is no setting related to IPv6. That's why it is not provided. Okay. Fine. Now I'm going to close this. Connect manually Wi-Fi means look. Look. I'm just going to share my. Now see, this is my machine, and right now I have connectivity with the wire, and my laptop has got an IP address from CIMAGE router. Now I'm going to check its status. Right click, status, and details. In this detail, you can see that I am getting IP address 192.168.0.113. Subnet mask is this, lease time is this, and default gateway is this. Now see DHCP server and see DNS server. I am getting this kind of information just because of the configuration of our router. जो हमारे राउटर पे कॉन्फ़िगरेशन किया गया है उसके अकॉर्डिंग मुझे यहाँ इंफॉर्मेशन। तो अगर इस तरह की सेटिंग मैं अब इस सिस्को पैकेट ट्रेसर के भी राउटर पे करूं तो वो वैसा ही देगा। तो मैंने आपको एक छोटा सा लैब दिखाया है, वैसे डोंट वरी अबाउट इट। योर सर्वर पेपर विल कम, my MCSC paper, and in that paper there is a long practical for DSC। वहां पे आपने खुद एक सर्वर बनाना है और वहां पे और भी DHCP के ढेर सारे कॉन्सेप्ट हैं। But now I am only showing you small labs on different protocols, because हमारा मोटो क्या है कि N+ में जिस नेटवर्क को हमने एस्टैब्लिश करना सीखा, now we have to perform few tasks on that network by which we can understand what is the use of network। मोटो ये है कि आखिर नेटवर्क का यूज क्या है। उस नेटवर्क के एस्टैब्लिशमेंट में there is a requirement of logical configuration, and the first thing is identity। That's why I have taught you IP address। Finally, I have just used IP address configuration with the help of DHCP। Now next protocol will be SMB, by which I will show you how we can share a data at one machine, and then that shared data can be accessed from any machine in the network। Fine.